Last night, I watched the newest iteration in the Monsterverse franchise, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. And I gotta tell you, they're starting to get better. They're kind of starting to get the hang of it. Still not great, still not perfect. I will rip on a few things, but overall, you know what? Not bad. Not bad. You know, it's better than I expected. Better than the last one. So let's get into it a little. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
So, as I said, overall, not bad. Not bad at all. There's still too much humans in this particular franchise, but or too many human storylines. But overall, they're kind of starting to take the hint. The hint is that, well, not the hint. We've been very, very explicit about this. Get the humans out of the story. Get the humans out of the movies. We do not care. Just give us giant kaijus fighting. And on that particular note, the movie does deliver. You know, it's got some pretty epic kaiju fights. So, and more of them, which is the only thing that we really wanted, to be honest. But before I get into all that stuff, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario SDW and at Super Dario World. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, all that stuff. It really helps me out. I haven't loaded a video in a while. I've been busy. I kind of have some really annoying, time-consuming stuff going on behind the scenes. I'll probably share about it. You know what? I will complain about it eventually, but you know, it's a process. It's just been annoying, really annoying, exhausting. You look at me. Look at me. I'm not sleeping. Anyway, but I'll get into that in a minute. But I saw the movie last night, and this is kind of an easy episode I can do. So let's get into it. Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. So if you want the spoiler-free, really quick spoiler-free, because I mean, it's fun to rip on stuff, and you kind of have to do a little bit of spoilers. So spoiler-free, very quickly. The movie takes place pretty much in. Did you need to see the previous one? I think you kind of do, because this movie takes place mostly on Hollow Earth. Hollow Earth is stupid. All right, listen, the movie's stupid. All right. If you want to think about anything that happens in this movie for more than 2 seconds, it's beyond fucking stupid. They try to use not even pseudoscience. They look like they use anti-science to make things work. But fine, whatever. Magic, prophecy, whatever. You can accept it. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. They try to sound smart. It's the opposite of smart, but whatever. You can accept it, because the only thing that we're there for, the only reason why anybody walks into the movie theater to watch Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, is because they want to see giant kaiju fights, giant monster fights. So that's the only thing, spoiler free, that I'm grading this movie on. Kaiju fights are really cool. Not enough. There's some of them that take place behind the scenes, really annoying. I don't know why, but the ones that are on screen are pretty cool. The main character in this movie, this is the big knock on the movie, okay? Again, spoiler free. Kind of, I guess. Yeah, it's spoiler free. The main character in this movie is Kong, which annoys the hell out of me, because I'm a Godzilla guy. You know, I'm wearing a Godzilla shirt. If you want to see the Godzilla shirt, I've shown it several times. But he's, you know, chilling in a bowl of ramen. Love Godzilla. Always loved Godzilla. I've always loved Godzilla. I'm a Godzilla guy. So the fact that Godzilla is not the main character here annoys the fuck out of me. The fact that Kong is the main character here annoys the fuck out of me. I'm not a big primate guy. All right? I don't like gorillas. I don't like monkeys. I don't like any of that stuff. In Pokemon, I rarely ever use an ape. I hate the fire monkey, primate sometimes, but I don't like the humanoid ones. I don't know why. They annoy me. Not a monkey guy, okay? Or an ape guy, whatever. I don't know. They're too close to humans. It annoys me. If you're gonna be an animal, be an animal. I don't know. Kong is the main character here. Clearly, very annoying. Not a fan of it. There should have been more Godzilla. The problem with this movie, not enough Godzilla. All right, it needed more Godzilla. So fights are fun. The visuals are really good. If you turn off your brain and don't think about any of the things that the humans say or do, the movie's fun. They try to make Kong way smarter, almost like caveman level smart. So, I mean, I guess it was in order to tell a story. I don't know. It was annoying, but whatever. I can understand it. I can forgive it up to a point. Because again, Fights are fun. The only reason we're there is for the fights. The fights are cool, and there's less humans. Way less than in the compared to the other Godzilla or Kong movies. Way less humans. So good there. Progress, more kaiju fights. So overall, fun. Again, it's not. Would I say it's the best one? Whew, that's a tough question because the Monsterverse movies are the Godzilla, the one with Bryan Cranston and Kick-Ass, I think. Then it's Godzilla King of Monsters. Then it's Kong Skull Island. Then Godzilla vs. Kong, and now this one. Okay. Whew. All right. I like the first Godzilla because it was a different take on it. It was more of a disaster movie, and I just love the fatality that he did at the end. That was really cool. The second one, King of Monsters, too much humans. The fight with Ghidorah was really cool. I liked how they did that, like a cobra rattlesnake thing. That was really cool. So the monster parts have been solid, all right? Listen, the issue with these movies are not the monster part. It's always the human part. Like in this movie, okay, now I'm gonna do a little bit of spoilers. Sorry, but overall, watchable on the big screen. I don't mind having paid to watch this movie. Full transparency, I watched it in Mexico, so it's cheaper. But I didn't mind. It's in the big screen. Big monsters, big punches, really cool. Not enough Godzilla. Too much humans, not enough Godzilla. If they would have taken off all the human parts and just added more Godzilla, it would have been better. But I'm gonna do like my own script doctor version of this. All right, so that's it. Spoiler free. Now I'm gonna do a little bit of spoilers. Not big spoilers. I don't think I can really spoil this movie for anybody, to be honest. But I'm gonna criticize certain details that are just annoying. So there you go. Spoiler warning, maybe 3, 2, 1, let's go. So in certain details of the movie, let's just say, I'm not gonna say who, but a character gets resurrected because a human character walks up a pyramid. Okay, that's how stupid this movie is. All right, and that's not even the stupidest thing. There's a point that I'm like, all right, I need to suspend my disbelief. There's really stupid things that happen in this movie. You're like, all right, suspension of disbelief. Like, for example, there is I don't want to say, fine, I'll say it. There's a giant ice monster named Shimo, I believe. Let me see, I think I have an image of him. No, it's that one, Jimo, a giant ice monster. And he's being enslaved by the bad guy, which is the Scar King. By the way, the Scar King looks really cool. The design and everything for the monsters, again, the monsters are fine. No issues with the monsters. They look really cool and stuff. So Shimo, the giant ice monster, is being enslaved by the Scar King. And so when the Scar King decides to attack, he's riding Shimo over to wherever it is that they're going, right? And so as Shimo walks, since he's a giant ice dragon or whatever, no, it's not a dragon, it doesn't have wings, but giant ice dinosaur, the ground around him, the plants around him, they freeze. But somehow the Scar King doesn't get injured by it. He's not affected by the ice. So it's like little things you're like, oh man, this is stupid. But whatever, you can let that go. Chick walking up a pyramid, and just because she walked up the pyramid, by the way, she wasn't winded at all. So that chick's got like the greatest cardio ever. Like the legs on her, goddamn, it's a gigantic pyramid. She walks up and she resurrects a monster just cause prophecy. It's not magic, it's science, but whatever. Resurrection out of fucking nowhere. It's like, all right, fine, I can accept that. However, the thing that I refuse to accept, the thing where I'm like, nah, I cannot suspend disbelief anymore, is that there's a point in this movie where it takes place in Brazil, and they show a beach in Brazil. So you got all the Brazilians around on the beach, and you don't see a single hottie in a thong, not a single one. And I'm like, that's not believable. I don't believe it. They did not go to Brazil. They did not record that. Suspension of disbelief broken. Like, I have a line and it's right there. That's where I draw my line. that's the line in the sand for me. I don't believe it anymore. They lost me. So come on, guys. It's really not one. Anyway, whatever. Doesn't matter. So taking that stupid, ridiculous rant aside, there is a lot of really dumb stuff story-wise. There's a lot of things that just magically happen. And overall, the problem is that the story is stupid and Kong-centric. Now, they could have still been Kong-centric, but with more Godzilla. And now, here's how I would have done it. All right, so this is the story for the movie. The short version of it. Kong is lonely in Hollow Earth, And he's kind of stuck in Hollow Earth because if he goes to the surface, Godzilla's going to kick his ass because Godzilla is way more powerful than Kong, all right? Godzilla is the apex predator of the Titan world here. So Kong is lonely down in Hollow Earth and he's, exploring Hollow Earth. And it turns out that there's actually a deeper level in Hollow Earth. By the way, Hollow Earth is the stupidest thing ever, but you know what? Hollow Earth is stupid because they try to explain it. They try to use science to explain it, but if they would have just left it alone and just been like, well, it's there, it would have been better. Whatever, it doesn't matter. And they added a whole bunch of different stupid stuff. It doesn't matter. So there's actually a deeper level to Hollow Earth. So the underground world actually has another underground world, and apparently it's kind of like a prison world, but there's no really locks on it. You can always leave. It's really stupid, all right? It's really freaking stupid, but whatever. Point is, Kong accidentally finds a path to the deeper Hollow Earth, and there he finds some primates, right? He finds some monkeys. And it turns out that the monkeys are, by the way, the monkeys live in like this really odd like volcano area, right? There's a parrot, there's like a giant, there's a beautiful lake with plants, and it's almost like Eden-like environment that Kong passes through, and for some reason the monkeys are like, nah, we'll live in the hellscape, right? We'll live where, because there's really no reason why they couldn't just live in the beautiful lake. They're like, nah, we'll live with the lava. Why? Because fuck you. Anyway, so he finds the monkeys, and apparently the monkeys are being somewhat enslaved by a gigantic ape known as the Scar King. And so the Scar King has his lackeys, and he's like this guy. He's like a big, skinny, kind of like orangutan, right? And so he's enslaving everybody, and he's got his lackeys and all that stuff. The weird part here, and again, it's only if you decide to think about it for more, if you just decide to think, or not even if you accidentally think. The monkeys are just, for some reason, in the lava environment, collecting rocks. And so they're just moving big rocks from one part to the other. And you're like, why are you moving those rocks? You're not building anything. There's no houses. There's not a castle. There's nothing. They're just moving rocks in hell because this guy's a dick. That's the only reason. I can't see any other logic to it. Just a dick. So, it's stupid. Again, if you decide to think about it for more than 1 second, it's really stupid, but suspension of disbelief. You can accept that. Anyway, Kong finds this dude, and for some reason, there's a tribe of humans in Hollow Earth that are giving a signal to Godzilla, telling Godzilla, like, hey, this dude's waking up. And so Godzilla has to go and collect energy so he becomes like Godzilla Super Saiyan 3. So, there's nuclear Godzilla, and then so this is another level of Godzilla. So it would be, again, not Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 3. And so Godzilla's getting ready for that fight because apparently the Scar King almost beat him last time. And so Godzilla whooped him into the prison world. It's stupid. All right, it's stupid. And so basically Kong and Godzilla, in order to stop this dude and the giant dinosaur ice guy, they team up and blah, blah, blah. So it's stupid. It's really stupid, but we're there for the kaiju fights. Now, if it were me, what's the story that I would have told? Because the problem here is whoever wrote this does not understand Godzilla. And so what he did is basically, let's keep Godzilla busy over there somewhere doing something like a building up power. And so when we need him to actually be there, that's okay. Since I don't know what to do with him, he'll appear eventually. We're just going to keep him busy. That's not, in my humble opinion, that's not particularly good writing. So they're kind of just keeping characters busy most of the movie doing dumb, senseless stuff. So if it would have been me, so you guys remember on the previous Kong movie, Kong had he ended up with an axe that for some reason, this magical axe is capable of absorbing the power of Godzilla's, fire breath, right? I know the nuclear blast, all that stuff, of Godzilla's blast. And so there's energy beam, however you want to look at it. So if the Scar King, it has the gorillas or his people, you know, just like mining stuff. Why aren't they mining more of that material to build anti-Godzilla-esque weapons, right? So I would have had the Scar King actually have a plan, because the way that they try to sell this movie is that the Scar King is gonna come to the surface and conquer everything, but it doesn't. It feels more like the Scar King kind of just, because Kong goes and you know, into his territory, he decides, you know what, I'm going up, instead of feeling like he actually has a plan. So he feels reactionary instead of active. So this movie should have been more like, okay, the Scar King's making his move. So the move that I would have focused on is, okay, so he's enslaved his people, and he has the mining anti-Godzilla magical rocks that can absorb his blast. So to make shields, maybe some kind of armor, gorilla type armor for them, whatever. That would be like part one. So, all right, now it makes sense why you're living in the freaking hellscape instead of the beautiful lake. Something. And it still looks cool in the lava-like fight environment. That looks pretty cool. Second, the Scar King, like as I mentioned, he enslaved Xion, the giant ice monster. That was clever. Have them enslave more, right? If you managed to capture one Titan, why not two? Why not three? Again, to help you in the fight against Godzilla. Because clearly Godzilla whooped you already, you and your army. So you got the advantage in numbers, but you got whooped. So now you're gonna find a way to give yourself an advantage in numbers, plus weapons, plus add a few other kaijus there to help you. Again, so it feels like a terrifying villain with kind of a plan. You know, powerful, dangerous, not just reactionary. So you're not only scared of his physical abilities, of his size, you're scared of his brain, right? So you would have had the Scar King enslave a couple of more kaijus. That way, now the movie, instead of being kind of this, it becomes what the fans really want. And what the fans really want is basically Primal Rage. Primal Rage, Godzilla Kong version, right? Now, for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Primal Rage is a video game that existed. Well, it still exists technically, but it used to be an arcade game. I haven't seen it in forever. I have a version in the Xbox One in a collection of arcade games. I believe it's called Midway Arcade Treasures. I love the thing. Let me see if I should probably put up an image. You know, I'll do it in the edit. So Primal Rage is basically you pick a giant monster and you fight other giant monsters. So I always pick Talon, which is basically like a giant velociraptor. There's two giant gorillas. One of them is an ice gorilla. I believe his name was Blizzard. There's two kind of T-Rexes. Diablo, one of the giant T-Rexes splits fire. That's Diablo. The other one's Sauron. So it's just a giant T-Rex. Well, I guess all T-Rexes are giant. Anyway, there's Vertigo, which is, imagine like a very skinny dinosaur, but with the head of a cobra, like a really long neck and a tail. There's also like a weird armadillo one whose name I don't remember. So it was really cool. And that's kind of what people want. That video game, basically, it's have a giant monster and you fight other giant monsters to conquer territory. That's all the people want, okay? That's the only thing we want. We just want to see giant kaijus fighting here. If they would have done that, the movie would have been great. So the movie would have been, instead of having Godzilla being busy doing stupid stuff that he's doing in the movie, it could have been Godzilla kind of in trouble because it's a trap set specifically for him. It's a trap in numbers, it's a trap in power, it's a trap in many different things. And so he actually needs Kong's assistance in order to survive. And Kong definitely needs Godzilla's assistance in order to survive. So it would be kind of like the one thing that the Scar King did not plan against is Kong being there. And Kong has to choose, am I going to help Godzilla, who I kind of don't like, or my actual people, you know, actual apes? Am I going to go against them? So it could have been, let's say, interesting that way, a little bit more dramatic. And again, it would have had Godzilla actually doing giant kaiju fights, more of them. So that's how I would have done it. Again, or you know, while Godzilla is busy fighting the giant kaijus somewhere else, the Scar King's making his move with the army and stuff like that. But instead we got a stupid human story of there's you know, the deaf chick who speaks to Kong for some reason. Yeah, it's really annoying. I get the logic, whatever. Still, her story's stupid and boring. There's other stupid, boring people stuff that they add. They added the son. Imagine they added a character who, seriously, imagine if Ace Ventura and the Crocodile Hunter had a British baby. They added that character. I didn't hate him, but at the same time, it's like, what the fuck is this? Why am I watching this? What is the point? Just get all these people out of here. I think they need him for color commentary sometimes, but no, we understand how the fight is going. You don't need to explain stuff. You don't need to explain the motivations of Godzilla. Like, oh, he's going to gather energy. He's preparing for something. We could have gotten the point. You know, it's really bizarre because sometimes with let's say all the ape stuff, the apes don't talk, but you kind of understand what they're trying to say. Again, they made him way smarter. They made him like caveman level smart, but you can understand what their purpose is, what their goal, what they're trying to communicate non-verbally. It's pretty clear. And yet at the same time, the writers feel that, I guess, I don't know, they felt like they needed to add more dialogue, or the actors felt like they needed more dialogue, that they need to over-explain stuff. I don't know. It's stupid. But like I said, it's better than I expected. More kaiju fights, less humans. It's kind of what I wanted. If this trend continues, I might eventually be happy one day. You know, if the trend continues that it's going to be more kaiju fights, less humans, let's just go. Let's just keep doing that. So treading in the right direction. Story still really stupid, dumb, whatever, but that's not what we're there for. Could have been better. I'd give this movie, I don't know, like a C. Overall, a C. Watchable, you know, like it could have been a B with a better story. And it could have been, a B without the humans. It could have been an A with the better story. But you know, they don't hire me for these things. They should. I'm gonna start applying for these jobs just in case. I don't know. You never know. But anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. Is there anything else that I want to mention about this one? No, I don't think so. Overall, watchable. That's the best thing I can say. Watchable. I felt like it was worth my money. I enjoyed it. I hadn't been to the movies in a while. I think I went to see the Demon Slayer movie with my kid brother, and that's the only movie I might have seen this year. That might be the only one. I don't know. But so I'm happy I did. You know, I got out of the house. Again, I've been busy. I got out of the house. I watched the movie. I didn't feel like I paid too much for something that I didn't entertain me enough. I didn't fall asleep. I wasn't tired at any moment. I went there late, and I woke up at 3 a.m. I went to the movies at 9, and I wasn't tired at all. So that tells you a lot. So there you go. As always, comments, questions, suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and like I said, I've been having some really annoying stuff going on behind the scenes, legal dumb stuff. I'll share that eventually when it's kind of done. I'm actually working on a video of it, but we'll see. Point is, things are kind of okay. It's just been annoying and busy. I do want to do a football thing before the draft and something afterwards, but I don't know if my schedule and Eric's are gonna mix. We'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll see how this goes. Point is, the podcast is not dead yet. It's still gonna continue, hopefully. As always, thanks for listening, and I'll see you again next time.